Another angle I think that's very interesting is the continuing, I guess I'll call it a haunting of the Bergen County Democrats by Joe Ferriero. He came back to haunt them last year, in that election cycle, and now by just some quirk of federal law and the way our courts work, Joe Ferriero looks like he's going to walk. Now, I know your opponent, Democrat incumbent Dennis McNerney, is going to do his best to try to stay far clear of Joe Ferriero and whatever it is he's doing when he's out. I guess he's a jogger. He'll probably be in marathons or whatever it is he does. But maybe you could tell us a little bit about the Ferriero-McNerney connection and what taxpayers need to be wary of going to the polls this November.
Yeah, let me say it a couple of ways to you, Matt. One, whatever the BCDO, the Bergen County Democrat Organization, does internally is not my business. So they have their own battles to fight, I'm sure, internally, and that's for them to do. But with regard to people going to the polls and what the taxpayers should know in Bergen County is, first, Dennis is a product of Joe Ferriero, Dennis McNerney. You can't get around that because he was recruited by Joe Ferriero to run for freeholder. Then Joe Ferriero recruited Dennis McNerney and got him elected as county executive twice. Clearly, Ferriero created Dennis McNerney. That's just a fact. But beyond that, I don't need to talk about that with Joe and Dennis. But what Dennis can't, he may be able to walk away from Joe. He cannot walk away from the BCIA, the problems that are now coming up with the school scandals that we had in our county schools last year with the people that Dennis had running them had cost overruns. We had 2 microscopes that were bought for $500,000 each, $1 million on 2 microscopes. The Dennis's people agreed to. There's $85 million increase this year in spending on the county level. Dennis can't walk away with that. He owns all of that because it happened under his administration and with some of the people that he put in place there. So I don't need to talk about Joe Ferriero. It's clearly Dennis McNerney. He and I are running against each other, and I believe that what Dennis has done in the last 8 years is appalling for the taxpayers.
No, I mean, there's no arguing with that. It's amazing. I mean, I've seen the pictures and I post on my blog, and even from just visiting friends in Bergen, it seems like every truck in Bergen County has that guy's name on the side of it in big, bold print. It's truly remarkable. He'll do anything with taxpayers' money to advance himself. Maybe you could elaborate, though, a little bit on the BCIA scandal and the goings on there. It's been in the news, and I think more and more people are hearing about it, but maybe because a lot of people aren't from Bergen, not everybody understands exactly what's happening.
I will talk about that, but you just brought up something else, if I might inject that first. We've had some layoffs in county government. Again, I believe because Dennis McNerney didn't see this economic downturn coming, and I don't know why he didn't, because everybody else did, and he didn't plan for it. So some people lost their jobs. But at the same time, or several months later, Dennis, let me back up. He gives a state of the county speech in early winter that says the county's in remarkable shape. We're in great shape. The next week he says we're going to have layoffs of people. They go through the whole thing. There's layoffs. My staff has to have 5 furlough days this year, 5 furlough days next year. And then about a month ago, McNerney had the audacity and the gall to have the freeholders approve $67,000 in PSA commercials that he's now running on every station that I can see, every cable station on TV. He's having the taxpayers pay for his campaign. Can you imagine? We lay people off. People were making $30,000, $40,000 a year, and then he spends $67,000 of taxpayer money on PSAs to promote himself. It's unbelievable. And one of the things he's promoting is he's touting the park, Overpeck Park, which has been a park for a long time, but just spent $100 million, which is many, many millions more than he should have spent on that. And there's been some investigations in the newspapers that there may have been some improprieties in how the money was spent. But Dennis McNerney is spending $67,000 of taxpayer money to tout on TV Overpeck Park that the Record newspaper has done a story about recently that says There have been problems with the landfills and some of the millions of cost overruns that are involved in that, all of which tie back, or most of which ties back to the BCIA, the Bergen County Improvement Authority, that now has a number of scandals attached to that agency. So it's almost as if it's in a circle. There's one thing after another that's happening with Dennis McNerney, and it's no good. None of it.
Yeah, I mean, my one request is when you get in this fall and you begin to clean things up, I just want to have the opportunity to use one of the $500,000 microscopes before you sell it, because I'm dying to know what you can see that you can't see with a $500 microscope.
Yeah, I that kind of money is just, you know how many kids we could educate for $1 million instead of 2 microscopes? It's stunning the kind of money that's been wasted in county government. You will see a smaller county government when I'm there, smaller, better, more efficient, and everybody who's there will be doing their jobs, which also is we've got some great staff. My staff is wonderful, for instance, in the county clerk's office. We've got some dedicated people who work for Bergen County government, and they'll continue, but some of the political hacks, or let me say all of the political hacks, will be gone.